I saw this post here. 2025 WNBA media access policy states no later than 10 minutes following the game, each head coach and 2 players, leading scorer and key contributor per team, be available in separate press conference room for in-person Zoom meetings. AT and the Mercury will likely be fined because they chose to break the rule. It's looking like Alyssa Thomas and the Phoenix Mercury are going to be fined because she just said nah. She just said nah. And I'm sorry, like, you can't have all the smoke. You cannot.
Alyssa Thomas brought significant energy and confrontation during her interactions with Indiana Fever supporters. This wasn't merely standard competitive tension or typical rivalry dynamics. This represented what could be described as maximum intensity confrontation. Thomas displayed complete antagonism toward the fans, engaging in heated exchanges throughout the contest. She encouraged supporters to maintain their vocal opposition. However, following the defeat, Thomas chose to avoid media obligations entirely. The previous day's events concluded with criticism directed at Caitlin Clark, but the current situation might have concluded with criticism aimed at Thomas for her absence.
All the smoke. You cannot be there chirping with fans the whole game. You cannot be allegedly telling fans DeWanna chose to join a real basketball team. You cannot be saying stuff like that and then hide. I'm sorry, like, Alyssa Thomas, I mean this when I say this, Alyssa Thomas is one of the physically toughest players in the WNBA, but, like, she's charm and soft when it comes to anything else. Like, she is absolutely charm and soft. She is so soft. And at the end of the day, like, when it comes to it.
While Clark faced the media despite controversy, Thomas completely avoided her post-game responsibilities. According to WNBA media access regulations for 2025, teams must provide their head coach and 2 players. It's typically the leading scorer and a key contributor for media availability within 10 minutes of game completion. These sessions occur in separate press conference rooms for in-person and virtual meetings. The Phoenix Mercury will face penalties for violating this requirement. Thomas and the Mercury organization appeared destined for financial sanctions because she simply refused participation, having such intense confrontational energy during competition while subsequently hiding from accountability creates problematic optics. Thomas cannot maintain aggressive behavior towards supporters throughout the entire contest, allegedly telling fans to support legitimate basketball organizations, then disappear when facing consequences.
When it comes to Alyssa Thomas, this was just ridiculous. This whole scenario was absolutely ridiculous, and this whole scenario is something that not that she caused, not that necessarily DeWanna caused for herself. Like, the booing and everything, DeWanna brought that in herself. Let's be completely real. Even Nate Tibbetts was just like, well, yeah, this is sports. Like, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but, like, their coach was even like, well, yeah, this is sports. This is sports. And, like, Alyssa
Thomas ranks among the WNBA's most physically dominant competitors, yet demonstrates weakness in other areas. This contradiction defines her character completely. The entire situation became absolutely absurd. While Thomas didn't necessarily create the hostile environment, the negative fan reaction resulted from Diana Taurasi's departure decisions. The booing atmosphere developed organically. Even head coach Nate Tibbetts acknowledged the reality, stating this represents normal sporting competition. Thomas's absence follows her typical behavioral pattern perfectly.
Like, Alyssa Thomas not showing up. It's the most Alyssa Thomas thing ever, isn't it? You know, talk a big game, and then when anyone does anything negative towards you, let's just dodge. It is the most Alyssa Thomas thing ever. Like, we've seen it with some of the... Like, let's not forget, you're the big bad bully of the league. Angel Reese, as a rookie, starts physically actually outplaying you physically, out-killing you on rebounds. So what do? You hit her with the freaking rock bottom. You go and hit.
She projects confidence but retreats when facing criticism or challenges. This represents classic Thomas behavior. Consider her reputation as the league's primary antagonizer. When rookie Angel Reese began outperforming Thomas physically, particularly in rebounding battles, Thomas responded with excessive physicality, delivering what resembled a wrestling move during a rebound attempt, resulting in ejection. Player relationships don't determine competitive intensity. Caitlin Clark and Marina Mabrey likely maintain neutral feelings toward each other, yet Mabrey delivered a hard foul during competition.
The freaking rock bottom. You go and hit her with the rock bottom on a rebound and get yourself chucked. Like, not saying that that was like, oh, Angel and Alyssa Thomas like each other. It's like, it doesn't matter if players like each other. I don't think Caitlin Clark and Marina Mabry hate each other. I don't think Caitlin and Marina Mabry hate each other. But at the end of the day, Marina Mabry made sure as hell to knock her on her ass in the middle of a game. Like, it is what it is. Once from the starting buzzer from the toss up to the ending buzzer is different things. But like, let's be real. Like, Alyssa Thomas is the big bad wolf of the WNBA. She's the
Competition transforms dynamics from opening tip to final buzzer. Thomas maintains her reputation as the league's primary enforcer, capable of physical dominance without consequences. However, when opposing teams successfully challenge her or execute superior game plans, she struggles with accountability. Regarding the contest itself, Indiana allowed Thomas to accumulate 32 points through deliberate strategic planning. The Fever's defensive approach intentionally permitted Thomas's scoring output. The Mercury's 100-point total didn't result from Indiana's defensive failures, but rather from Phoenix's offensive execution responding to Indiana's strategic choices.
Let's be real, like, Alyssa Thomas is the big bad wolf of the WNBA. She's the bully. She can do whatever the hell she wants. She can ram players over with no consequence. And as soon as, whether it be another team putting it up to her and getting the better of her. And by the way, I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. The Fever let her score 32 points. Other than the offensive rebounding points, the Fever, that was their game plan, was to let Alyssa Thomas score as many points as possible. And the 100 points did not come from the Fever's bad defense. The 100 points that they conceded literally came from the Fever's...
The situation resembles previous scenarios where teams intentionally allow specific players to score while limiting others, similar to how opponents sometimes deny Kelsey Mitchell opportunities, creating open looks for teammates like Aaliyah Boston. The Mercury accepted Thomas scoring 30 points just as Indiana accepted similar output from their opponents. This represented strategic chess match thinking. Tibbetts approaches every contest as tactical warfare, but Stephanie White executed superior strategy. The Mercury accepting financial penalties because Thomas refused media obligations demonstrates rule violation. Multiple sources confirm Thomas's absence from required media availability.
Literally came from the Fever's it came from the sorry, I was gonna bring up my camera right here just because it's a lot of noise right now, so I'm gonna try to get rid of that on my camera. But it was caused by the offense more so than anything. It was caused by the offense more so than anything. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I don't know why, like, people are like, oh, Alyssa Thomas was absolutely cooked.
Reports suggest Thomas made comments about fans supporting legitimate teams, though this remains unverified. However, such statements wouldn't represent particularly harsh trash talk compared to typical player comments. Coach Tibbetts fulfilled his media obligation.
People are like, oh, Alyssa Thomas was absolutely cooking, like she was, but they let her. It's like a lot of time with Caitlin Clark where you're like, even yesterday with Kelsey Mitchell, like the reason Ari was getting open layups because they were denying Kelsey Mitchell. The Phoenix Mercury were willing to let Ari drop 30. Just like the Indiana Fever were willing to let Alyssa Thomas drop 30. This was a chess match. Like, Nate Tibbetts plays every game as a chess match, and Stephanie White won the chess match. But, like, the Mercury taking a fine because Alyssa Thomas didn't want to do it. They chose.
Thomas would have appeared for media obligations following victory. She demonstrates frontrunner mentality despite never winning championships. Her finals record stands at 0-2, though her team reached finals during her injury-related absence due to ACL recovery. Game 5 last season against Minnesota demonstrated Thomas's vulnerability to strategic game planning, similar to Ben Simmons' playoff struggles. Thomas represents exceptional talent, ranking second in MVP consideration, yet teams successfully neutralize her impact through strategic planning. Her inability to shoot consistently limits offensive versatility.
In fandom, but like the WNBA is nowhere close. Like, in terms of crazy sports, it is definitely, it's on the milder end. So you've got all these tweets going semi-viral, and it's like, just saw some weird ass lady MVP burning pictures of Dewana Bonner, and you wonder why she left. And people are like, this is not normal behavior. Man, this is the most normal WNBA fan thing I've seen all year. This is actually the most normal WNBA fan thing I've seen all year. Cutting a player out.
She excels in transition situations, ranking behind only Caitlin Clark in this category. During yesterday's contest, Thomas provided minimal defensive contribution, primarily committing fouls rather than executing defensive schemes. Despite these criticisms, Thomas maintains her role as the league's primary enforcer and competitive antagonizer. However, her inability to handle post-game media responsibilities undermines this persona. Media questions would have addressed fan reactions and her responses to crowd hostility. The appropriate response involves acknowledging sporting competition reality.
This is actually the most normal WNBA fan thing I've seen all year. Cutting a player out. Everyone edited her out, and people just did it for show, burning it. Like, man, how many players have had their jerseys burned? How many teams and players have had their jerseys burned? Let's be real. It's symbol. It's a symbol that... It's basically a symbol of fuck this player. That's what it is. You sign for a max. No player has, as far as I'm aware, in the NBA.
Professional sports create emotional reactions when players leave organizations. Fans respond naturally to such changes, particularly during contests against former player destinations. Teams compete while managing fan emotions and reactions throughout contests. Competition continues regardless of external circumstances. Rather than addressing media inquiries professionally, Thomas chose avoidance because she understands accountability challenges. Previous situations demonstrate problematic social media influence affecting player perspectives.
Signed for a max. No player has, as far as I'm aware, in the NBA, has signed for a max and then literally quit less than 10 games in. I think she lasted 7 games. Signed for a max contract and then just quit the team after 7 games. I've never seen anything like that before. I've seen players quit on teams before, but never this quickly and never immediately after signing a max contract. Like, it absolutely is just a unique situation to have to deal with as a fan. And like, again,
Angel Reese faces similar challenges from excessive online engagement, leading to misunderstandings and manufactured controversies. Online narratives influenced Reese's perception of various situations, including alleged incidents and commentary from analysts like Candace Parker. Parker's actual comments included positive assessments of Reese's MVP potential, yet online interpretation created false controversy. These situations demonstrate how social media creates unnecessary drama and conflict where none previously existed. Duana Bonner represents a former Indiana Fever athlete who previously competed for the organization. The circumstances surrounding her departure constitute a matter that realistically ought to have concluded by now.
Again, let's be completely honest. Like, the Indiana Fever fans, the reason why sports players get paid as much as they do, and I know WNBA players don't get paid as much as they should. I actually do believe they should be getting paid way more, and I think they will be getting paid way more soon. But the reason why fans are the reason why players get paid, and when there's a tribalistic thing with fans, when it becomes you're either on our side or you're against us, and it's like we love you when you're with us, we hate you when you're against us.
The situation warranted resolution following their recent matchup where Indiana defeated Phoenix, during which Bonner performed poorly. The incident should have reached its natural endpoint at that moment. Unfortunately, the controversy persists due to WNBA media professionals lacking fundamental comprehension of athletic competition culture. These commentators fail to grasp the essential elements of sports enthusiasm and fan engagement that make athletics compelling, while acknowledging that certain boundaries exist within fandom that shouldn't be violated, particularly concerning WNBA discussions. The league operates considerably below extreme fan behavior compared to other sports environments. Various social media posts have gained moderate attention, featuring content about supporters destroying Bonner photographs, with critics questioning why she departed the organization.
And people are like, oh, but like what? These fans will boo you as soon as you leave their team. No, they won't. There was a tribute video played and the fans still cheering Alyssa Smith. And we freaking hate Dejanay Carrington. We all hate Dejanay Carrington, but Alyssa Smith, by all accounts, was a great teammate. And by all accounts from everyone around, Alyssa Smith is a great person as well. So we have no beef with Alyssa Smith. I hope Alyssa Smith sucks against us.
Observers claim such actions represent abnormal conduct, yet these behaviors actually exemplify typical WNBA supporter activities witnessed throughout the season. Fan practices like removing players from photographs and ceremonially burning items remain standard expressions of disappointment across professional sports. Jersey burning ceremonies have occurred countless times involving numerous athletes and franchises throughout sports history. These symbolic gestures represent fans expressing frustration with specific players rather than literal threats. The ritual serves as a metaphorical statement of rejection toward the individual's choices. Bonner's situation presents unprecedented circumstances in professional basketball.
I hope Alyssa Smith sucks against us. I hope when Alyssa Smith plays the Fever, she's the worst player in the world. But for those other, they played the Fever 4 times, for those other 40 games a season, I hope Alyssa Smith absolutely dominates. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, you've got Fever fans being Erica Wheeler's biggest cheerleaders from what she's doing for the Seattle Storm today. And again, I hope Erica Wheeler stinks it up on Sunday. But for those other 40 or so games a year, 41 games a year where we don't play you guys, I hope she averages 40.
No athlete has previously signed a maximum contract only to abandon their team after approximately 7 games. While players have quit organizations before, never has someone departed so rapidly following such a significant financial commitment. This unique scenario creates understandable confusion and anger among supporters. Indiana Fever enthusiasts, like all sports fans, represent the economic foundation enabling player salaries. Although WNBA athletes currently receive inadequate compensation compared to their value and deserve substantially higher wages that will likely materialize soon, fan loyalty drives the financial ecosystem supporting professional athletics. Sports fandom naturally creates tribal mentalities where supporters embrace players while they represent their team but oppose them afterward.
It wouldn't have worked out with the Fever with Erica Wheeler in this scenario because she wasn't as good as she's not as good as Kelsey Mitchell. She's not as good as Caitlin Clark, and all the issues with Ari, like Ari is basically Erica Wheeler. I'd say they're around the same level. As like all the problems with Ari when Caitlin's there were the same problems when Erica Wheeler was there. But like we got like the people in the WNBA fandom, like they're like, oh, the Fever fans coming in and ruining this. And it's like, why?
Contrary to assumptions about fan fickleness, Indiana supporters demonstrated nuanced reactions toward departing players. When Alyssa Smith left, tribute videos played and fans applauded respectfully. The organization harbors genuine animosity toward DJ Carrington, yet Alyssa Smith received different treatment because teammates and observers consistently praised her character and professionalism. No grievances exist with Smith personally, though supporters hope she struggles specifically when facing Indiana. During other games throughout the season, fans actually hope Smith excels because she earned respect through her conduct. Similarly, Fever supporters actively cheer for Erica Wheeler's success with Seattle Storm, though they hope she underperforms during direct matchups.
Oh, the Fever fans coming in and ruining this. It's like, why? Because it's actual sports fans. Like, there's no issues with, green objects being thrown on the floor at players. There's no issues with the fanfics being written about players. There's no issues with all of this, but fans acting like actual sports fans are the problem. They're the problem. Like, it is...
Wheeler's situation differed because her skill level didn't match Kelsey Mitchell or Caitlin Clark, and her playing style created similar issues that later emerged with other players. Critics within WNBA fandom complain about Indiana supporters bringing unwelcome changes to league culture, questioning why actual sports fans create problems. Meanwhile, these same critics ignore genuinely concerning behaviors like objects thrown at players during games, inappropriate fan fiction written about athletes, and other boundary-crossing activities. Yet authentic sports enthusiasm gets labeled as problematic behavior. The Bonner controversy exemplifies broader issues plaguing league discourse. Reports suggest Atlanta Dream events included criticism directed at Fever fans, highlighting the absurd nature of these discussions.